What if the strange feelings you've been having lately aren't random? What if that sense of unease, of being off, is actually a sign that something extraordinary is unfolding? You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. You're here because something deep within you already knows a major transformation is coming. Imagine this right now beneath the surface of your everyday life, something massive is brewing, a cosmic shift, a spiritual earthquake, a complete reordering of the pieces that make up your world. It's quiet but powerful, and it's gaining momentum. Most people miss it. They ignore the small signs, write them off as mood swings or stress. They silence their intuition and keep pushing forward on autopilot. But not you, because if you're watching this, that means you're already feeling it, the energy, the pull, the undeniable shift. So here's your invitation. Stay with me until the very end of this video. Why? Because today we're going to unlock the 8 undeniable signs that something life-changing is about to happen to you. And these aren't random checkboxes. These are deep universal signals that many people overlook until it's too late. But you're waking up, and what you learn here might be the push that finally changes everything. Before we dive into the first sign, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, not just for this content, but because your journey deserves constant fuel. This channel is built to remind you of the power that's already inside you. Sign 1, you feel a deep sense of restlessness. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up and felt like your life, your job, your routines, even your relationships just didn't make sense anymore? You look around and realize the job you once worked so hard to get now feels meaningless. Conversations that once lit you up, distant, empty, your routine. What once gave structure now feels like a cage, a script you never wrote. And it's not boredom, not laziness or surpassing phase. It's something deeper, raw, and primal. A voice inside whispers, "You're meant for more." But no matter how hard you try, you can't quite name what more means. That inner itch, that friction between where you are and where your soul wants to go, that's the first and most important sign. Because your soul isn't confused. It's waking up. You are not losing passion. You're shedding a version of yourself that's outgrown its purpose. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Picture a snake forced to stay in its old skin. It would suffocate. That's what's happening inside you. Your environment, habits, and maybe even your relationships have become too small for who you're becoming. And here's where it intensifies. Ignore this restlessness and it won't disappear. It expands. The universe turns up the volume when you stop listening. Suddenly, things fall apart, friendships, jobs, plans. Not to punish you, but to redirect you, to pull you from the chapter you've outgrown. And if you don't move, life moves you swiftly, sharply, with purpose. But here's the good news. When you recognize the shift and trust, everything starts to make sense again. The job loss, the breakup, the uncomfortable silence were all part of your initiation, a transition from limitation into expansion. This isn't the end. It's the call to rise. So if you've been frustrated like you should be further along, don't ignore that feeling. Lean into it, because that discomfort, that restlessness, that's not your weakness, it's your wake-up call. If you've been feeling that strange tension, now you know. It's not here to break you. It's here to awaken you. And when you finally start listening to that call, everything begins to shift. Sign 2. You're suddenly losing people from your life. That's when the fear sets in. Not just any fear, the fear of the unknown, fear of leaving behind what's familiar even when it no longer fits who you're becoming. But here's what most people miss. Restlessness isn't a curse. It's a signal. It's your soul tapping on the inside of the walls you've built. It's the first crack in the illusion of comfort. A spiritual siren telling you your destiny is too big for your current reality. So don't suppress it. Don't flee from it. Don't distract yourself trying to silence it. That feeling isn't here to break you. It's here to liberate you. And when you begin to honor that shift inside, a painful but telling sign appears. People start to leave. Why people fade when you're growing? Ever notice that when something inside you begins to change, people close to you start drifting away? It happens suddenly. A longtime friend stops replying. Someone you trusted turns distant and unreachable. Some vanish without a word. Others slowly fade, as if life is gently pulling them away. At first it feels personal, like rejection, like abandonment. You lie awake replaying moments in your head. You ask, what did I do wrong? But here's the truth. This isn't here to hurt you. It's here to prepare you. When a breakthrough is coming, the universe clears the path. It removes distractions, noise, and most of all, people who no longer align with your future. Not everyone is meant to walk with you forever. Some people are only meant for a season. And when that season ends, so does their role in your life. Where most people get stuck, we try to hold on to what's already unraveling. We chase those who've emotionally left. We try to revive friendships that were never meant to last. We invest in broken bonds, hoping they'll heal. But the truth, holding on to the wrong people delays your destiny. And sometimes, just before your breakthrough, those closest to you betray you. You'll see unexpected sides of them. People you believed in may become distant, jealous, even hurtful. Why? Because deep down they feel your growth. They sense your energy changing. They realize the version of you they were comfortable with is fading. And that threatens them, not because you've done wrong, but because your evolution forces them to face their own stagnation. So they withdraw, they criticize. They try to make you doubt yourself, hoping you'll shrink back to who you were. But you can't go back, not now. You're being pulled forward. This isn't rejection, it's alignment. If your circle feels smaller, if you feel more alone, don't panic. You're not being abandoned, you're being realigned. Losing people isn't a punishment, it's a filter. It's not cruelty, it's clarity. It's how the universe protects your growth by leaving only those who are meant to walk with you. Think of climbing a mountain while dragging a heavy bag of rocks. That's what it feels like to carry emotional dead weight, people who aren't meant for your next level. Some relationships only survive if you stay the same. The moment you grow, evolve, or shift direction, they begin to break, and that's okay. Because real relationships, real love grow with you. They stretch, they bend, but they don't break. They'll support your progress, not fear it. If you're losing people right now, don't panic, don't chase, don't beg for answers, trust the process. Those meant for your journey will stay. And those who leave, they were never meant to go where you're headed. Let them go. Because when something extraordinary is about to happen, the universe clears the stage so only the right ones remain beside you when it all unfolds. Sign 3. Strange synchronicities keep happening. The more synchronicities show up, the harder they are to dismiss. At first, they're subtle, a number like 1111 flashing on your phone, a song playing that mirrors exactly how you feel, or a dream that lingers long after you wake up like it's carrying a message. But if you ignore them, they don't fade, they intensify. Suddenly, repeating numbers are everywhere. Coincidences line up so perfectly, it's hard to call them random. It starts to feel like something or someone is orchestrating events behind the scenes. And maybe that's exactly what's happening. When these synchronicities appear, don't dismiss them. Pause, notice. Ask yourself, what were you thinking about when that number showed up? What decision were you weighing when the coincidence happened? These aren't just signs, they're clues. Clues pointing towards something meaningful. Sometimes they confirm you're on the right path. Other times they nudge you gently to shift course before it's too late. But here's what most people overlook. Synchronicities are not just symbols, they're invitations. The universe isn't playing with patterns for no reason. It's urging you, sometimes quietly, sometimes forcefully, toward a new choice, a bold action, a moment that could change your life. This is where many get stuck. They sense the signals, they feel something shift within, but they stay the same tree, same circle, same comfort zone, as if the universe weren't tossing breadcrumbs saying, go this way. And here's the hard truth. Ignore the signs too long, and the windows they pointed to will start to close. So if synchronicities are appearing more frequently, don't write them off. Lean in, reflect. Ask yourself, what message am I being shown because you're not imagining it? You're being guided towards something bigger than you can yet see. And the only question left is, are you paying attention? Sign 4 unexpected opportunities suddenly appear. Now imagine this. You're going about your day like usual. Same routine, same schedule. Nothing feels out of the ordinary. And then out of nowhere, something happens. An unexpected email lands in your inbox with a job offer. A stranger introduces you to someone, and that connection leads to something massive. Or maybe a random idea pops into your mind, an idea so bold, so inspired, it almost feels like it didn't come from you. At first you hesitate, you think, this is too good to be true. You wonder, am I really ready for this? But here's what most people don't understand. These moments, the job offer, the introduction, the inspired idea, they're not coincidences. They're invitations. Life is opening doors, and not just any doors, but specific, powerful ones that are meant to lead you to your next level. Your breakthrough, your transformation. But here's the heartbreaking truth. Most people ignore them. They get stuck in doubt. They overthink. They let fear and what-ifs paralyze them. And by the time they finally build up the courage to act, the opportunity is gone. Because opportunities don't wait. When life hands you a golden ticket, it doesn't sit around forever waiting for you to feel ready. It shows up, offers itself, and if you don't say yes, the door begins to close. Maybe not forever, but long enough that by the time you knock again, that moment has passed. The energy has shifted, the magic has moved on. And that's what makes this sign so intense. People who succeed, the ones who truly break through, they don't wait for perfect conditions. They recognize the opportunity when it comes, and they act. Even if they're scared, even if they're unsure. Think about it. How many times have you looked back at your life and realized a single decision, one small yes, could have changed everything? Maybe you've had moments like these before. A chance to start something new appeared, but fear whispered, you're not ready. You met someone who could have opened doors, but you never followed up. An idea landed in your mind, bold and brilliant, but you dismissed it only to see someone else bring your exact idea to life months or years later. That moment haunts you, doesn't it? This is why it's so important to pay attention when unexpected opportunities show up. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's alignment. It's the universe shifting energies in your favor, rearranging people, timing, and circumstances to give you a chance to step into something completely new. But here's the hard truth. That window doesn't stay open forever. So the next time something unexpected comes your way, stop overthinking. Stop questioning whether you are ready or worthy. Instead, ask yourself, what if this is the moment I've been waiting for? What if this is the sign that my entire life is about to change? Because the truth is it could be, and sometimes the only thing standing between you and that breakthrough is the decision you make next. Sign 5, you feel a strange urge to do something new. Have you ever woken up one morning with this strange, persistent urge, an unexplainable craving to do something completely different from your usual self? Maybe you suddenly feel like packing your bags and moving to a city you've never even visited, even though there's no logical reason. Maybe an idea for a project lands in your mind, something totally outside your comfort zone, something you've never even thought of before. But now you can't stop thinking about it. Or maybe out of nowhere you feel pulled to learn a new skill, a new language, or a craft, something you've never had interest in until now. At first it may feel random. You might chalk it up to a passing mood or temporary curiosity. You may even laugh at yourself. Where did that come from? But what most people don't realize is these urges are not random. They are signals, messages from your intuition, whispers from your higher self, breadcrumbs from the version of you that already knows what's coming even before your conscious mind can catch up. This is how transformation begins. Your spirit always knows it's time to evolve long before your mind does. And when a major shift is on the horizon, your soul begins pulling you toward things, experiences, environments, knowledge that align with your next chapter. But here's the challenge. Most people ignore these feelings. They brush them off as silly. They doubt themselves, say things like, why now? What if it doesn't go anywhere? Don't have time. And so they let the moment pass. They silence the call, and unknowingly they walk away from the very future their soul was trying to guide them toward. That's the difference between those who stay stuck and those who evolve. Those who transform their lives, they listen. So think about this. What if that strange urge to move isn't just wanderlust, but a clear sign your energy no longer aligns with the place you're in? What if that project you feel drawn to is actually the key to a version of yourself you haven't even imagined yet? What if that sudden desire to learn something new isn't about a hobby but preparation for something your future needs you to know? These thoughts aren't meaningless. They're breadcrumbs. Signals guiding you toward the next chapter, a chapter that won't begin until you answer the call. And here's what happens if you ignore them: will start forcing you to change. The discomfort will grow. The feeling of being stuck will deepen. Even the things that once brought you joy will start to feel hollow. Because when your soul is ready to evolve, staying the same becomes unbearable. So if you're feeling that strange, compelling urge to do something new, don't wait for a reason. Don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for someone else's approval. Those urges, they're not fantasies. They are whispers from your future self calling you forward. And the only question is, will you listen? Sign 6, obstacles are suddenly everywhere. You were finally gaining momentum. The job you were excited about fell through. That relationship you thought would last begins to crumble. Plans that once felt secure start unraveling like threads from a tightly woven fabric. It feels like the universe is working against you. No matter what you do, something blocks your path. A delay, a setback, a door slamming shut. And this is where most people give up. But here's what you need to understand. It's not a coincidence, it's a test. Right before major breakthroughs, resistance always appears. Things fall apart not because you've failed, but because life is preparing you. It's not punishing you. It's not cruel. It's asking, are you ready for what you say you want? Breakthrough requires pressure. True transformation doesn't come without struggle. The bigger the blessing, the greater the storm that precedes it. Think about your own life. How many of your most painful moments came just before something incredible? It's almost like life gives you one final challenge, not to destroy you, but to shape you. It says, show me how badly you want this. Show me you won't quit under pressure. Sadly, most people back down. They take the resistance as a sign to walk away. They think maybe it wasn't meant to be, but they don't realize how close they were. They mistake discomfort for failure, when really it was the final stretch before breakthrough. Obstacles aren't walls, they're doorways. The truth, what you see as resistance, is actually refinement. The universe isn't rejecting you, it's preparing you. It's removing what you can't take into your next chapter. It's sharpening you for the weight of the life you asked for. If success came easily, if love showed up without struggle, if growth arrived without friction, you wouldn't value it, and you wouldn't be ready to keep it. Pressure creates power. Diamonds need pressure. Gold needs fire. You need challenge, because every delay, every heartbreak, every setback you're facing right now, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. It's sculpting you, strengthening you, preparing you for everything you've dreamed of. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Shift your perspective. So next time things fall apart, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, what if this isn't falling apart, but falling into place? More often than not, it is. If you can endure the storm, if you trust the process, you'll walk out the other side stronger, wiser, and finally ready for the life that's been waiting for you all along. Sign 7, you start seeing the truth about people and situations. Then something strange begins to happen. Suddenly you notice things you used to overlook. Conversations that once felt normal now seem off. You start catching subtle cues, the forced laughter, the backhanded compliments, the tension behind their smiles. You begin hearing the difference between what people say and what they truly mean. And just like that, the fog lifts. You see the jealousy behind praise, the manipulation disguised as kindness, the quiet resentment beneath fake concern, and it hits you. You're no longer seeing who people pretend to be, but who they truly are. It's a painful wake-up call. You may ask yourself, have people always been like this? The answer is yes, but you didn't see it before. Maybe you were too trusting, too distracted, too caught up in your own life to notice. But now you see everything with sharp, sometimes brutal clarity. You recognize the friends who only call when they need something, the family members who resent your growth behind polite smiles, romantic connections based on comfort or control, not love. And it's not just people. You see your life differently, too. The job that once inspired you now feels like a trap. The relationship that felt secure now feels draining. Even your daily routines feel like they're holding you back. You begin to question everything. Why am I still here? Why did I accept this for so long? Why did I ignore the signs? This is the moment your mind wakes up. And once it does, there's no going back. You can't pretend. You can't unsee what's been revealed. And this clarity, it's the beginning of deep transformation. Clarity forces change. Once you see clearly, you understand what no longer serves you. You realize the old you tolerated things, the new you simply can't. You've grown, you've awakened, and your soul says enough. But awakening isn't soft, it's not comfortable, it hurts. It's painful to realize some people you loved were never truly for you. That some of your closest bonds were built on illusion or convenience. It's disorienting to question everything, beliefs, choices, even your circle. Why most people resist because truth demands change, and change is terrifying. So many numb it, deny it, run from it. They cling to toxic comfort, tell themselves they're overthinking, because accepting the truth means making hard choices, means walking away, means stepping into the unknown. But the ones who embrace truth, even when it breaks them, they're the ones who truly evolve. Truth isn't the end. It's the doorway. When your old life begins falling apart, don't panic. It's not destruction, it's clarity. Life is clearing illusions to make room for what's real. So don't fight it. Don't cling to what's already slipping away. Because the moment you stop fearing the truth, the moment you let go, everything changes. That's when you step into the life that was always waiting for you. Sign 8. You feel an unexplainable sense of peace amid the chaos. And now comes the quietest, yet perhaps most powerful sign. Everything around you seems to be falling apart. People are leaving. Plans are crumbling. What once felt solid, your job, your relationship, your routines, now feels unstable. Your old life is slipping away, and yet you're not panicking. Deep beneath the uncertainty and noise, there's a quiet, steady sense of peace. You can't explain it, but you feel it. Something inside knows this is not the end, it's the beginning. You're calm even in the storm. Most people grip tightly when life unravels. They chase control. They fear change. But you're grounded. Yes, everything is shifting, but you're not falling apart. Instead, something in you whispers, this is happening for a reason. Something bigger is coming. You may not have a plan, no certainty about what's next, but still you trust, and that trust is your signal. That knowing is your compass. The storm is shaping you. Think back. How many times has chaos led you to clarity? How many breakdowns became breakthroughs? This moment is no different. The pain, the confusion, the loss, they're not failure. They're part of your realignment. Life isn't punishing you. It's preparing you. Most people run, but you stay. This is where many give up. They let fear take over. They retreat to the comfort of the life that no longer fits. But you're choosing differently. You're standing in the storm with quiet faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in something greater guiding you. While others resist, you're listening. While they cling, you release. While they fear, you prepare. And that makes all the difference. This peace you feel is a signal. This calm isn't random. It's not a fluke. It's a message from within. Your soul knows you're exactly where you need to be. The storm is temporary. The confusion will pass. And soon, sooner than you think, everything will make sense. On the other side of this chaos is something greater. A life more aligned, more fulfilling, and far beyond what you imagined. So ask yourself, are you ready? If you've felt any of these 8 signs, don't dismiss them. Your life is shifting, change is happening, and something incredible may be just around the corner. The question is, Will you embrace it? If this message resonated, share in the comments. Which sign spoke to you the most? And if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications. The next video might shift your entire perspective. Remember, the universe is always speaking, every moment, every sign. The only question is, are you listening